Thank you very much. At this time, we have our student government report. So at this time, we'll turn it over to Nolan Ursoy. Welcome aboard, and all yours.
Hello. Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to Mr. Shaw and Mrs. Brill for the gracious welcome. I'm very excited and thankful to take on this position and help improve the school year for all of my fellow Palm Beach County students. I can say as a student, the first day did in fact go very well for me at least, and for students at Park Vista. Very good transition. That being said, I'd like to mention things that I'd like to do for this year. My campaign goals, what I ran on, the way I got elected. This year I want to see all the Palm Beach County schools that participate in county council to work further together, because as we are one large organization, we don't really work together as much as we could. I think we could take on much larger projects as a larger organization and get much larger goals done. Other than that, we've been planning our first county meeting as a county council will be on September 27th. The theme for the meeting will be an around the world theme, a multicultural and a cultural awareness, because on that day it's also International Tourism Day, so we're trying to kind of go with that and just promote multicultural and cultural awareness things to all the different student governments. For that, so far we've been planning the service project for that and looking for different speakers, looking at different options. We still haven't figured that out, but we will soon. And aside from that, we began collecting dues from all the schools that choose to participate in the county council and the middle schools and high schools. Really from that, all the student governments across all schools ran freshman orientations and welcome back, and we're all just happy back to be at school. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And earlier when I met Mr. Ursoy, I told him there's a question that he'll be asked in order to graduate, and he had already been informed that he has to answer that question, so he's prepared for that question later. So our next item on the agenda are committee reports. We have 3 and invite all 3 reps to please come forward: Academic Advisory Committee, Audit Committee, and Cork.
Good evening, Chairman Shaw, school board members, Dr. Fenoy, and staff. My name is Laura Feldman, and I'm the newly re-elected chair of the Academic Advisory Committee. The Academic Advisory Committee held our first meeting for this school year on Monday, August 6th. During our meeting, we heard presentations about the upcoming referendum and an instructional update reviewing some information about the progress in the strategic plan goals. During the referendum presentation, we learned how, if passed, the referendum will help improve teacher salaries and assist the district in meeting staffing needs for safety and mental health supports in school. If the referendum passes, staff explained that the district will be able to add an additional 80 officers and security aides at schools. There will be funds for a behavior coach in every school. There will be more mental health clinicians and about 50 more school counselors. There was a question about how the district plans to solve the problem of insufficient workforce availability, and staff explained that they are working to recruit and develop academies which will prepare interested students to enter the mental health support careers, similar to the district's current teaching academies. The committee also discussed concerns about that this referendum will be located at the bottom of the last page of the ballot, and that voters will need to pay attention and read through the whole ballot. Committee members identified to staff that they found especially helpful to learn during the presentation. Committee members recommended that future presentations also have flyers available with simplified versions of the information, along with explanations about the differences between this and the penny sales tax. We were also happy to hear about the progress that the district has made toward the goals outlined in the strategic plan. Committee members had questions about the programs in place to address the chronic absence problems. We heard a brief summary about the program Project Ground with Harvard that is working to address these issues. We also heard that some areas also have attendance coaches to help assist with solving the problems causing absenteeism. A committee member asked whether there is a consideration of changing the instructional practices to increase student engagement through such methods as inquiry-based learning. Another committee member asked how staff will reach parents who block the district's robocalls, because that seems to be particularly difficult. We also briefly reviewed the data regarding AP, ACE, IB, and dual enrollment. While many subgroups' participation in these classes were noted, There were requests to see the data for students who are in the following categories: free and reduced lunch, English language learners, and exceptional student education students. Our next meeting will be September 17th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Audit Committee, Mr. Silver.
Good evening. Two special review reports were presented at the meeting, one from Western Pines Middle and one from Palm Beach Lakes High School. You have these reports in your packages. I'm available if you have any questions. Of course, Mr. Chu is available as well. In addition, the district's outside CPA firm, RSM, presented their audit plan for this ending year, June 2018. The audit committee, we will monitor their process and progress over the next few months. We expect to see the final work product from them, which is the management letter and single audit, hopefully in the beginning of December. Our general counsel, Ms. Rico, gave a brief update to the committee on the status of Eagle Arts Academy Charter School. As we all know, there were 380 students there. She gave us the details of what was happening there, what happened, and also advised us how, of course, the board is concerned about the students. Mr. Chu presented through the Office of Inspector General his proposed work plan for the current year. We discussed it at the meeting. The plan provides details of all proposed projects for both performance and school audits. And the Office of Inspector General, along with members of the Audit Committee and the school board, will have a workshop on September 5th, and the work plan will be reviewed and hopefully adopted by the board at a future board meeting. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. Mr. Doctor.
Chairman Shaw, board members, superintendent. Cork met on August 9th. 11 out of the 12 active Cork members participated in the meeting, so we had excellent attendance and they all participated in it. There were 12 items on your agenda that we reviewed. PC1 was pre-qualified vendors. Those are vendors who want to do business with the county, and we pre-qualify them so when they actually bid, the pre-qualification process is out of the way. That they're licensed, they're certified, we look at their litigation status, and all that's cleared up. So it's easy for them to enter into the bid process. 5 new vendors were introduced, and there were 5 renewals. PC2 was to fund modular building usage in the county. PC3 was for construction management services, and PC 4 through 9 were all design contracts for 12 schools by 7 different architects. And Cork wanted me to make sure I mentioned to you that they were very pleased with the quality of the documentation, the thoroughness of it. The few questions they had were easily answered by your staff, and the meeting went very well. That was in spite of the fact that there were 2,000 pages of documentation that we received. And we know that some of it is duplication of contracts. But the packages were exceptionally well put together. It's a credit to your staff that it really made our job easy. And the few questions we had, they answered without any trouble at all. In addition to that, there was PC10 for relocation of concretable portables, and PC11, which was design services on Odyssey Middle School. So like I said, everything was approved by vote of 11-0. There's one other minor item. We do review policies and procedures that document what we do in the construction area. And they've developed an excellent set of policies and procedures that are independent of the people. When new people follow them, we don't have any problems. There was one on liquidated damages where Cork voted to accept it by a vote of 9-2. Liquidated damages are penalties that contractors pay if they don't finish the job in time per our contract. And there's 2 parts of it. One is substantial completion, which means the kids are available to go into the school and use the facilities, but not all the documentation is cleared, and the final is final completion. And there are penalties associated with it. Those penalties get negotiated with your purchasing department and the vendors, and there's amicable workout in most cases. Lots of difficult, extenuating circumstances get involved. And Cork majority felt that the purchasing department did an excellent job, and there was no need for us to review every one of them. That's why there was some difference of opinion there. Our next meeting is on September 6th, and we want to, again, congratulate your staff, purchasing and facilities, and the excellent job that they did. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda, and before we go to this, when I made my comments, there was one thing that I did overlook, and when Mr. Silver mentioned Eagle Arts, I think another thank you that needs to be given is to our charter school department, Dr. Licata, Mr. Pegg, all of their staff, our people in records management, and everyone who worked to make the transition of the children from that school one that worked out. I understand that the district hired several of the teachers from that school, and that we've been successful with working with parents to get all of those students in schools. The open house that was done here was something that was commendable, so thank you to them. Each month, the board recognizes the families of employees who passed away recently, and tonight we have 4 that we'd like to recognize. The first was Sheila Calhoun, was an elementary teacher at Timber Trace, born in 1962, passed away in May of 2018. Sonia Newkirk Johnson was a behavioral physical needs assistant at H.L. Watkins Middle School, born in 1967, passed away in June of 2018. And Aquinas Tambamutu, who was a day-to-day sub, born in 1946 and passed away in 2018. We also lost somebody who had been involved with this school district for many, many years, Ineria Hadley Hudnall, who was a retired teacher and a historian here in West Palm Beach. And she worked with the district for many years and has contributed a tremendous amount to her community. She passed away, or was born in 1920 and passed away August of 2018. So at this time, can we take a moment of silence in remembrance of these individuals? Thank you very much. Our next item on the agenda are speakers.